This is AI.R. Artists in Residence Broadcasting, coming to you once a week from New York City. Hello, I'm John Cullum, and this is Emily Frankel.
And we're going to do a post today for M's Talkery, my blog. And this post is going to be about an overheard conversation, something that you weren't supposed to hear, but you did hear, and you told me. And of course, when you tell me, I tell everybody. You can count on me.
Well, where did I overhear this conversation?
This was a conversation between Harvey Schmidt, a creator of the Fantasticks, and John Kander.
Incredible.
And the two guys were talking like young guys, full of excitement, piss and vinegar. And they were talking about projects that they were both working on that didn't work out.
That's right. It was an incredible. First of all, it was incredible to see these two men, one of whom has the longest collaboration with Fred Ebb. John Kander and Fred Ebb had the longest collaboration in Broadway history, and the other one has the longest running musical play or any play that has ever been done, the Fantasticks. And there they were chatting away. And
were you ever up for the Fantasticks?
I auditioned for it.
They didn't like you?
Evidently not enough to hire me. No, I mentioned that, and of course I did 110 Shade for it.
And that was Harvey Schmidt and Tom Jones's play that was on Broadway.
I auditioned for that. I had auditioned for the original of that too. Oh my God!
But anyway, go ahead with this overheard conversation.
Well, there I am. I was talking. My play, the Scottsboro Boys, by Kander and Ebb, was being rehearsed in the Snapple Center, where they had the Jerry Orbach Theater, where they were doing a reading of a musical that had been written many years before, based on Our Town, by Harvey Schmidt and Tom Jones. And they had done one production in Chicago, and then they were informed that they could not do any more because they had not gotten the rights to it.
So the owners of Thornton Wilder's
the estate
refused
to give them the permission to do it.
They couldn't negotiate and pay money.
They're very different. The people who did it were, I'm not going to call them any bad names, but I can.
They were tough.
You can supply the bad names for me, but you couldn't get anybody that would do a better job for that particular type of material than Schmidt and Jones. I mean,
So they were writing.
They wrote it and they produced it, and they were doing a reading, and the people from the estate were coming there to take a look at it again. And we were rehearsing Scottsboro Boys there. John was standing there chatting with him, and when he mentioned this, John brought up the fact that 35 years before, he and Ebb had done a version of Skin of Our Teeth by Thornton Wilder, and they had not gotten the rights, and they were refused the rights. So these two giants of the theater who were chatting together just casually were admitting that they'd made one of the worst kind of blunder that you can make in theater writing, which is to write something without getting the rights from the owners.
So the moral of this story is what? If you have a project, if you see a movie, like we saw Man in the White Suit. I wanted us to do a musical based on Man in the White Suit, but the rights weren't available. But if you have a project that you've fallen in love with, you must be businesslike. Yeah. You must proceed with a lawyer.
Don't put a word on paper until you get the rights. Well, I don't know, you might want to do something to prove that you can do it.
Well, how would you do that?
Well, you could do something that would
like a presentation of a song or two.
Yes, but I know 2 or 3 or 4 people who have written entire scripts put them to music, and were put 2, maybe 3 years into a project, and then were unable to get the rights. But I couldn't believe to see these giants of the theater who had made that same mistake.
Well, the moral of the story is don't let us ever do that.
No, we would never do that.
Yes, we would.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you admit it. Emily, I love you for being so frank.
Yep.
And frank hell.
That's what I am.
Well, join us next week again. Maybe we'll have something good to say then. See ya. This is AI.R. See you next week.